These are the players Arsenal should sign in January transfer window. I think that it's important to look at what Arsenal need in terms of the squad depth, the squad makeup, what they lack in terms of attributes throughout the front line. I hear so many people say they want us to bring in a top left winger. I don't think in January there is the player that we should be targeting. The reason being is you look at our makeup of our front line. What we might miss is transition pace, an ability to counter attack on teams. The only real player we have that is good at that is Martinelli. Other than that, in terms of the attacking line, we do lack something. I think if you target a top left winger who's good in transition, you're only strengthening an area that's already quite strong in Martinelli's case. You need to have balance across the front line. So if we're going to get a transition threat, I think that would be better to come from the central areas, more like a striker. So then you can play the two transition players when needed in the same lineup, being Martinelli and also say said striker. The issue with Martinelli is that he can really only play one position. So it's hard to fit in another left winger. If we had a striker who's a transition threat, then you could play Martinelli as well at the same time. And if that striker can also play on the wing, then maybe that's perfect, because then he can play left wing sometimes, striker sometimes. Not only this, the left wingers that are available in the market, you look at Rashford, he's not good enough in my opinion. There's too much concern over fitness, and also his mentality issues that he suffers. Leao isn't realistic at this time. Osimhen simply won't sell, and Nico Williams doesn't look like he wants to leave in the January transfer window. Then you have to look at other positions that Arsenal probably need. We could do some backup for Martin Odegaard in a creative sense. You'd imagine we need a striker, like a goal scorer, to get us over the line in certain games. And Bukayo Saka's injury seems to be for a substantial amount of time. Not only that, you have the central midfield issue where Partey and Jorginho are both out of contract at the end of the season. For me, I specifically looked at the perfect players being either strikers or right wingers who are versatile. Now, first up on the list is Napoli's Victor Osimhen. Obviously, he's on loan at the moment, but there is believed that there is a release clause should he wish to leave, or of 60 million in January, that would then break that loan deal with Galatasaray. Apparently, Osimhen insisted on this being in the contract, so if he got a big attractive club move, he would go for it. Ben Jacobs has also apparently said that with Arsenal, money is not an issue in this window. They do have money to spend. So that's a positive outlook for an Osimhen transfer. Not only that, Osimhen this season has been in inspired form. The Nigerian has 9 goals, 3 assists in the league in 11 matches, as well as a further 3 goals and 1 assist in Europa League. So he is an informed striker. He's a physical player, very quick, very good in transition, very good at the counter-attack. So he would obviously implement that into our style and hopefully help out Martinelli. His finishing is exquisite, and he's very good at heading the ball. So our back post crosses from Saka or the right hand side Odegaard, he would eat them up all day. So Osimhen would be a great signing for Arsenal. The main worry is, from an Arteta point of view, is he the perfect striker? No, he isn't very good at defensive contributions, and as Havertz and Jesus are better at that, and he also lacks a bit of discipline in terms of team shape. So is he the perfect Arteta striker? No, but can he get us over the line this season in the Premier League and make a positive impact? Definitely. So we'll wait and see, but that is the first one. I'd say likelihood of this happening is like a C-. I don't really see it being an Arteta or Arsenal type signing, under this regime at least. Arda Guler has struggled for game time at Real Madrid this season. He's only played 676 minutes for Los Blancos. This means that he could be available on a loan move. At 19, he may benefit some competitive first-team football for a top outfit, and it could open a door for a future move, for example, like it did with Odegaard after his loan move from Real to Arsenal. He then obviously made it permanent. I don't think Arda Guler would come to us permanently for the foreseeable until it was shown that his Real Madrid career is fully over, but I do think we have a good relationship with Real Madrid that we could possibly bring him in on loan. He's obviously a right winger and attacking midfielder, so he would prove competition for Odegaard, but also at the upcoming months, games, etc., with Saka being out, he would be a mainstay on the right wing, especially. A very, very, very good talent. He might be a little bit lightweight in terms of build, but he is certainly an extremely talented footballer. I only see this as a loan switch, which is one that you've got to look out for, because I don't think we'd make it permanent. I don't think Real Madrid want to sell him permanently, My only issue with this is, could it stunt Nwaneri's rise and Nwaneri getting into the team? Obviously, he played right wing in the last game against Brentford, so would Guler maybe cost Arsenal's game time for Nwaneri? That remains to be seen. In terms of the likelihood of the transfer, I'd say this is more likely. Obviously, a loan is pretty low risk. I'd probably say like a B. I think that this is more likely than Osimhen, for example, putting a big outlay on a player. In recent times, Ferguson from Brighton has been an emergence in terms of recent reports. João Pedro, and Welbeck this season, playing so well for Brighton, has meant that Ferguson has lacked minutes. He's only amassed 372 minutes, which is nearly half of which is nearly half of Arda Guler for Real Madrid. So that shows you how much he's been out of the team. He's an impressive physical attribute with good finishing and good box presence. Obviously, when he broke onto the forefront of football 2 seasons ago now, he was an avid goal scorer. He's got physical pace. He might lack a bit of sharpness, but apparently he is available on a loan, and Arsenal have been looking at that. For me, I don't feel Ferguson at this state of play is an upgrade on Kai Havertz, so I would stay away from the transfer. Likelihood of it happening, though, I would say is probably like a C, just because of the low cost and low risk involved. Finally, we move on to Alexander Isak. Honestly, he is the perfect player, in my opinion, for Arsenal Football Club. He can play on the left flank and also striker, and is proven. He's definitely the Premier League striker of the season, best Premier League player, and maybe in some cases other than Salah. This season, he's been phenomenal for Newcastle. He's got 12 Premier League goals and 4 assists in 17 games, and he is just a physical monster. He's like a Thierry Henry regen. He's perfect because he can play on the left when Havertz is in, or Jesus is in, and Saka on the right when Saka's fully fit. But he could equally play up front when Martinelli's playing. He's a transition monster, really, really quick, really great dribbler. He's got that little low power cross-field shot, and he is very, very good at holding the ball up. Now, he's the ultimate Arsenal player, the Swede. He's also played with Ødegaard before and Marino, so he's got that link up, the Sociedad link up, they say. Obviously, Tierney's been there, but obviously not when them lot have played there. So I think he is very good. He holds onto the ball as well as Gabriel Jesus. The issue is the money. Newcastle don't need to sell now after they made sales in the summer. You're going to be looking at £100 million plus player here. And yes, Arsenal may have that money. I don't think they have that money to spend in January. I don't think they'd be willing to spend that money in January. So as much as I'd love it to happen, I think he's an A+ in terms of like ability and suitability to Arsenal Football Club. The likelihood of Newcastle selling in this window particularly is very, very dim, and therefore I think it's D. So it's comfortably the player that I'd want at Arsenal Football Club most. If you offer me anyone in the world, you could offer me the Rafael, anyone. I'd rather have Isak, but it's just not realistic at this time in my opinion, and I don't think Newcastle will sell. But they're the main options I think that Arsenal should go for in this window. There's obviously been links to Rashford. I don't think he's good enough, and there's too many question marks to take another passenger, arguably, at this time. Obviously, Sterling's a recreational project at the moment who hasn't showed off this season so far. We can't take another big hit on the wage, especially for a player who's 50-50 if he's going to be good. We need proven ability now. Another option that was also brought up in the media recently is Ademola Lookman. As I said, I don't think adding a left winger right this second is what's good for us long term, because Martinelli's there, Trossard's there. If Trossard gets sold, then maybe bring in a left winger, and that could help. But I don't think Trossard will go anywhere this window. So for me, the priorities is a young centre midfielder, if we can get one, a right winger for cover for Saka because he's injured for like 2, maybe in 3 months. A striker if we can get one to get us over the line in games, and the left wing is like a utility. So if the right winger can play on the left as well, brilliant. If the striker can play on the left as well, phenomenal. That said, from an attribute standpoint, I think we do need some pace. We need some power in transitional running, transitional threat, attacking open spaces. And I think Isak would be perfect, but hey-ho. Maybe Osimhen, maybe someone else. Let me know in the comments below who you think Arsenal should sign. And I'll see you next time. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.